505. I must have had it wrong somehow. Just write it on there and we'll just make sure I have it.
Hi, David.
Good, good, how are you doing?
I'm glad the weather is nice now.
Yeah, busy at work?
Yeah, yeah.
Busy at work, yeah.
Yeah.
My email just to see if anybody else. Oh,
The NutriMullet is the thing that we have.
What do you do with
It works
it?
really great. I mean, you can put everything in there whole and we make great juices. Yeah, well, I leave that to Ed.
Tomorrow night? And you're leaving at 5? I'm leaving at 4.
What does everybody think? Wait until 10 after and start, and anybody who comes in straggling is,
Yeah, yes, it's 7 after, although why not?
yeah, we'll give them a few more minutes and that's it.
No, I definitely have this one.
I'm going to apologize in advance, I'm not feeling that great. I may just, at some point, if I'm not feeling that, if I'm feeling, I don't know whether
The allergies.
it could be allergies.
I'm still,
This is what I get, the sympathy I get.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I have, I'm taking pain medication. Did I tell you? Well, the pain in my arm got so bad, and I don't go to the doctor. So Ed just finally made me go, and he went with me to make sure I went. And what I have are 3 herniated discs in my neck, separated AC joints on top of it, and I have arthritis that's calcifying and just exacerbating everything.
Ooh.
So I've been on pain medication for like 6 or 8 weeks, and it just, like, even with that, I can't take it. So surgery is a possibility, but the next step, I think, is to get injections in my spine. Last week, I got a second,
Opinion?
no, I got a second injection of, what is it, cortisone, the second one I've had in my neck and shoulder. It helps, but it's not enough. I couldn't believe it. I mean, my arm literally felt like I had broken it. It was that bad. And, it's all caused by that. It's my fault because I don't go to the doctor until I'm almost dead, you know.
Not the best
If I had gone a long time before, it would never have gotten so
to
bad.
this point.
You know.
I have to say, I had a woman who used to work for me whose husband was not feeling well, always complaining, and of course, we go to the doctor. And she finally carried on so that he went and he found he needed a kidney transplant. And these are only people in their 20s. I mean, we're not talking about somebody, and yeah, I mean, it was a very serious situation.
I mean, my parents have both been dead for a long time, but my mother would go to the doctor when she had a headache, you know, and it drove me crazy. And my father was the opposite. He was like me. He wouldn't go until he thought he was dying, you know. And so my mother ended up dying of a stroke in the end. But my father, what I did with him was I heard him coughing in the bathroom, and I went in there afterwards, and there was phlegm with blood in it. And I knew what that meant, and he said, I'm not going to the doctor, it's just I have it, you know. He's like me, he had asthma and COPD, and I said, no, I have asthma and COPD, and I don't cough up blood. So, and it turned out to be lung cancer. I mean, I took him and, Well, I'm gonna start this, I'm not, okay, so, I'm not an expert on Robert's rules, I forgot to memorize them, but, at any rate, we call the meeting to order, and the, well, we don't have an agenda.
Sorry, I meant to print it. I was sitting there and I thought, oh, I gotta print it.
Do you have something, how about if I just,
Yes, just go with the.
I'll go with the flow,
Go with
okay,
the
so
flow.
the
Old
first,
business, new business, correspondence.
yeah, so, first is old business, we discussed, well, it's all on here, Diversity Day is September 10th. The question is, with Charlene, has the mayor and council
We're
responded?
good for the Casino Center.
We're good for the Casano Center. I mean, I spoke to the Casano Center, and Kim is on that committee too. Casano Center has approved it. So then Charlene got it
Council has
approved by
approved
mayor
it.
and council,
So
so
there's no
we're
problem.
covered. There's insurance, we don't have any problems. It is, what was it, you don't have a time on here, it's 1 to 3 o'clock. was it?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2 to
2 to
4.
4, 2 to 4. So we're all set to go on that, which means what we have to do then is, so that we don't look silly, is actually get something going and have a program in place. And,
We looked into, I mean, we were talking about the food and
Mhm.
possible restrictions and Shirley, did you find anything on that?
No, but I will, now that we're set and we know that we're doing it.
Okay. And then we said if we can't do the food, then we'll do soda, juice, coffee, tea, healthy snacks and cake. So we talked about
yeah,
that.
I mean, I would think healthy snacks are carrots and celery and things like that. But, you know, if you're gonna have kids, that'll go over like a lead balloon. But actually, I love carrots and celery when I was a kid.
We talked about having games for the children, so maybe tonight we can come up with some game ideas.
Don't look in my direction even when you ask that question. I don't know what kids do.
Okay, well, maybe we could come up with something.
I
just
read
like,
books and that was it.
What if we had some kind of like toss and somehow make some kind of thing that has to do with diversity and, or, I don't know. come up with
Here's
something.
the question I have about that, is that, because what we wanna do is expose kids to diversity and to other cultures and other things. Are games as a diversion, does that really fit with the program, I guess is my question.
Well, I think if we concentrate on having a
Sorry,
Here's my thing.
Well,
If we
it-
had, okay, here's an example. If we had, one culture, had a game from their culture that has to do with something, like somehow tie it in.
That would make sense, but you know what might
Not
even
just
make more
basic,
sense?
not just any old game, but,
Well, you know, like all of us played hide and seek, or, you know, no, let me finish, please. It's a Starlight, Starbright. But if you had things like that from different cultures, like what do children in India, what games do they play? Yeah, you know, as opposed to what kids here do, or, you know,
yeah, that would be
or
good.
different parts of the country, that might make sense, but,
What's the game that the,
But, you know,
that the
it-
Jewish people play with the,
Canadle?
Dreidel.
Dreidel, yeah, yeah.
But that's kind
Canadian
of specific.
is-
That's what we-
That's specific to,
Hanukkah, but that's,
Other than,
I mean, I'm
It's only
the wrong guy to
100.
ask because I don't know how to entertain kids. It's, I get philosophical with them and they get bored, so I don't.
But maybe if we could do something like that, it'll make the children realize that there are other children in the world who, you know, do these different things and have fun and just like they do. You know,
Yeah,
they're not
it's-
quite so different.
Well, I agree with that. It's, you know, as long as it's something that is a cultural game or a cultural thing that children somewhere else will do, but they don't necessarily do here. And it's, you know, again, I'm not
is this something that we could do a little research on and say, do you have any suggestions? children's games, or something that would be particularly, you know, Indian, or are there games that kids play there that they wouldn't be typical here?
It's not
or
very
kids
Indian,
pretty
it was
much-
just, everything, everybody plays, so.
Yeah.
That way, we have to choose, we have to choose, we can, every children can play.
Yeah, I wonder if we
Cricket?
could,
That's for.
Is that more a British thing?
No, it's
Cricket is British and
British
Pakistan.
start from.
Anywhere in the British Empire.
But India used to
or in
be
Warren Ankle
British,
Park.
that's
Or
why.
the in British
They play in
Commonwealth.
the park every weekend.
And need a big crowd too, so.
Yeah.
But,
Well, maybe we could do an ancient exhibit, like you said, right?
Yeah, or maybe we could do a series of things with books.
Yeah, but that's online, so that counts.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to kids, I haven't
Well,
been
there's
around
an,
kids
I
in
mean,
50
this is the
years.
only one I know, but I could reach out to the library and inquire.
That's what I should be looking at.
When I went to that American Muslim Union
Okay.
meeting, there was a man there who had done a couple of children's books, which I did bring back to the library. And he does this whole presentation thing. He's a young man and he's
How many people
very,
are supposed to go on?
savvy about using technology and so on. And I was, if this comes up, I can give you his contact name.
Everybody's not going?
I can't seem to get my phone working, but
But
I
because
could,
there's,
I mean, he is like, almost like a brochure. You can look it online. And I think that he would be very entertaining. And he called, his characters are Ilias and Duck, a duck. And, you know, I mean, then maybe we could learn, see if there are other people that might be, you know, able to do something like that, you know, in other cultures. You know, I just happened to stumble on him.
He's right here
Something
now.
that's, how am I different from you, or, you know, with it.
Oh, thank
People with kids and grandkids would be far better at that than, I know what dachshunds want, and that's about it.
You wanna go on the bus? First, you just told me you wanna go on the bus.
Bullying campaigns, depending on the age, they'll have campaigns about bullying. And depending on the age of the children, sometimes they'll either have them write an essay or do some sort of artwork. And since I know here, they do a lot of displays of artwork, if there's any way to just bring stuff in and find a way, or somebody, whether it's a story, just explain diversity to children, and then maybe have some, you know, whether it's colored pencils, crayons, at least it's an activity they can do, whether it's draw pictures or something, and then maybe we can just kind of have a display of, you know,
Doesn't it
in the
depend upon the age of the kids? I mean, kids are so much more sophisticated than when I was a boy. You know, what we did at 14, kids 6 years old would think is idiotic today, so, you know.
Yeah, I think it depends, because depending on, you know, the timing it is, and if it's parents, like, who's gonna show up, sometimes you might get, they see a lot of things that go on as activities with parents that bring like really small children, and they wanna color or do something. You know, or like the libraries, I don't know how popular it is when they do story hours or things like that.
Pretty popular.
You
You
know,
know,
that
we
would just
could,
be for that age.
I could invite, Ellen is away in Russia because her, the children's librarian, because her mother is ill. But I could invite Kit, who is, you know, kind of stepping in for her, to come to the next meeting, and maybe she could give us some input.
Oh, yeah, Kim and Jeff Reagan, okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay, do you want me to call her and tell her she can?
it'd be great if you could just find a way where kids could ask and want to know, but I mean,
Okay, yeah, if she wants to go, I'll put her
it's
in.
like an alien world.
And she goes out, and reads in the schools and stuff, so I mean, she has, you know, a lot of knowledge, I would think.
The whole key to, and you may understand this too, the whole key to change and to understanding diversity and understanding each other is with children.
Why are you surprised?
You know, as I lived in the Middle East, and when I lived there, the one thing that I learned
All right.
was that the problem between the Israelis and the Arabs was intractable. You could not solve it
And then
until
when we
new
told Jesse that
generations
you can leave
who
them.
had not been indoctrinated and propagandized, because that's what both sides do. And, you know, people who hadn't been kids, as they grow up, aren't exposed to that propaganda and indoctrination, and they interact more with each other, which takes 20, 30, 40 years minimum, then those barriers start to fall down and you can actually have peace. But as long as the people that were there 20, 30 years ago or after World War II are there, there's no way. It's impossible, because they both sides have lied and indoctrinated, you know, their populations. So, I mean, that's why kids are so important.
Jesse, you can go, you
You
gonna
know,
go meet us?
because,
I thought you
well,
wanted
look
to
at,
watch
a great example is with me. In my parents' generation, a lot of them still can't understand the gay world and can't accept it. Or almost everybody that's opposed to gay marriage is elderly, you know. But if I meet somebody under 30, they say, well, why is it even an issue? I don't care about that. You know, nobody thinks about it. It's just like, well, I've seen that my whole life, I don't care. You know, and it's the same kind of thing on every level, whether
Can do
it's
the
religion,
musical
race,
chairs,
or anything
small
else.
games.
Actually, that could be
Musical
kind of
chair.
fun, do musical chairs with different
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
Yes.
one,
Yes.
You
one
know,
of that
do a
one.
variety.
Start up.
Actually, when I looked at the
Start up
music,
that
yeah, I
one.
was thinking maybe to bring different,
That one, that can play anybody, you know, all children.
That's
Yeah.
actually a cute idea, but
I can't.
Here, we switch
go.
from one,
Someone's there?
from one thing to the next, I think that would be fun.
Pretty good.
I think-
There, an opening came up that you wanna go on the bus, to see a movie?
you know, what
And
I had
if
thought.
we want to add just, means for small children,
We just gotta.
that way also we can arrange. you know,
Three
so
people.
that way. More fun
Yeah.
for the, all each group, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's.
but you definitely, you're not, definitely.
I
not
had
going,
thought,
right?
and I don't know if I can set it up or not,
Okay.
as far as the gay community, what I
Yeah,
can do is
it's all
reach
right.
out to the ask Garden State Equality if
You're
they have
welcome.
any kind of program or any kind of outreach where they would
Good
be
night.
willing to
Bye.
set something up as well in case people have questions. I mean, certainly I'm open to that, you know, to talking or to answering any kind of questions that anybody may have. I have no inhibitions
No,
about
you
that.
can ride on the bus.
I can't open your tab, but
Yes,
you
you don't
need
wanna
to, so.
Oh, don't you need salsa?
Yes, you do.
I don't know if that's a good idea, if I should pursue that, or.
Why not?
Here, you go for the scenic tour there.
I'll look in, I haven't spoken to them for, in fact, the last time I talked to them was the last time I ran for office. And
Then
they
another
donated $500 to me, I haven't
lemon
talked to them.
on, lemon on the
But that might
spoon.
also be a
You
good
can,
idea
you know, there is so
for
many.
a speaker, just
Hmm?
that might be a
Lemon
good
on the
idea
spoon,
for
I
a
don't
have
that
speaker
one.
to
Huh?
speak for a few minutes
You know, you
on
have to
something,
hold
if
that
they have
spoon
somebody
on
that's
the
willing,
mouth.
you know,
Oh, and
besides
you
that.
have
Yeah,
lemon
yeah,
on it?
I'm a good
Yeah.
speaker, believe it or not, but I
Hold
generally do it
Okay.
extemporaneously. I don't like to have
Certain distance, you know.
prepared speeches, I don't
Okay.
use a teleprompter, and, but I'm very good at answering questions. I don't know if you saw my debates or anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
I'm
that
not bad at it.
it's nicer also to have somebody from the community themselves, you know, be the ones.
Well, I intend to do that, it's just that, you know, there are materials and things that I don't, Ed and I don't interact, we don't go to bars, we don't know any other gay people really, and it's just because we stay home and enjoy our lives together, and, you know, just like any old couple does, it's just, you know, we don't do things with,
Then
we're
there
not
is
social.
balloon also,
And we should be.
balloon, you know, two pair, or
With
make a-
balloon, yeah.
if two kids, you know, make a pair and walk certain distance, holding the balloon. The
So,
belly, you know, that's a fun game, you know, it's like a.
so what do we have, I mean, we talked about a lot of ideas.
Other ideas for you.
Kim,
You said that you would contact the New Jersey who?
Garden State Equality,
Garden State Equality, thank you.
which is the big gay organization in New Jersey that's, Steve Goldstein was the president of it, he's no longer there, so I don't know who is now. But I will contact them and just ask if there's something. So what we need to do here is just decide, you know, like have sort of an agenda or what each person's gonna do, so we can all come back with something. we've had a lot of ideas, but I don't think anybody has said, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Maybe somebody else can do the internet search on games.
I
Maybe
can do it.
somebody can-
Internet related, I'll do that.
you'll do the internet.
I can do any researches, if you want, searches on the internet, I'm good with, getting the materials and resources.
That'd be great.
So I can look for, like, you want me to look for animated movies, or what's the other thing that you want to?
Games.
Games? I can do
Games
this.
would be good. We'll talk to Ruthie about the music.
You're gonna talk to him about it?
I can talk to Ruthie
Okay.
about the music. Okay, so Sam will do
So that's,
internet
okay.
search.
You know, it just crossed my mind that we should just pause for a moment and do this, we didn't do two things, and it's because I'm not used to this yet. One is we didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance, but the other is we didn't take attendance. And that's my,
I think
I'm
you can.
remiss in that.
You don't usually, I don't know your name.
Ketan,
What is it?
Ketan, Ketan.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we should, every other meeting that we have on every other committee or the borough starts with the
Hopefully
Pledge
they
of
come
Allegiance,
back
and
to
that's my
KCM.
mistake, so next time kick me if I forget it. Huh? But yeah, we should, where's the flag?
Oh, it's down there.
It's way down there, well, we can do it from here as long as we look in that direction, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now we're going to initial that. So, and what I want to do is, because we have a lot of ideas going around, and obviously we can't do everything, so I think what each person should walk away from tonight is, I will do this. And then when we come back at the next meeting, each person will have something, no, it's not gonna work, or yes, we can do this, and, so I'll take care of Garden State Equality. You said you will do some research on the internet, but I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
This is Sam.
Sam.
It's
Sam,
Sam, but
okay,
you call me
Sam.
Sam.
And you will research
Yeah, and you
what?
cultural games, you said?
Cultural games and animated movies.
Some cultural games.
And if you want me also to look up music, what I have.
Okay, I'll talk to Rupert first on that,
Keith,
because I know he's great.
I mean, you haven't said, wow, I'm gonna do this. I don't know what holidays are there in September. It's probably too early for Hanukkah, is not, but maybe it's the only.
It depends on when the open part.
Yeah, I know what year it is really what depends upon what month it is.
Yeah, because it goes by. Different calendar.
Yeah.
How about if you worked on a flyer? You're good at computer stuff.
Yeah, we could,
Can
yeah, I
you do
could,
that?
yeah, I could do that.
Right, a flyer for the, what are we calling this? We're calling this, it was a picnic. Diversity Day, that's it.
Yeah, diversity day picnic won't work. Well, we can, donations for food is something we have to,
I think we have to wait on that.
yeah, but
You may want to
You
talk
know-
to Ruben about the timing on that and so, because he really knows.
I think everybody from every group, you're Islamic, you're Jewish, yeah, and your religion, and me being gay, and everything. Everybody should have like some kind of, here are the stereotypes of who I am, and this is the reality. I mean, that's just something to think about and talk about down the road. It's something that should be incorporated into it. Because in the end, it's the stereotypes that kick all of us. And
What
we
about,
could even have a workshop about stereotypes.
Well, that's a question I was gonna have, are we going to have speakers, are we going, I mean,
I was
the
just
kids
gonna
are
say
all
that.
one thing, but what are we doing for
So
at all.
this another
Yeah.
possibility for the diversity day? Yeah, I think yes.
Yes, I
Well,
think
this
we
is-
have to have speakers.
We
I
It's
had-
just,
All
several.
right, this is, if anyone wants to look at this, we can pass this around. This is the author.
The guy that you
She
saw.
can- Yes, and as I say, he's very, sophisticated about his approach and so on. I have, and this is
Oh.
his email. I don't know if, I feel like we're dumping everything on you, so I'm hesitant to say. But for the Muslim, this is a woman I saw, who spoke to the humanist group I'm part of. And her thing was, why would a woman want to be a Muslim? And it was very well done. And that's her name. And she is a teacher over here in Roselle.
I know her. That's
know
my
her?
friend, Ardina. That's my
Oh.
friend.
All right, maybe you can speak to her then.
Yeah, she's my
And then
friend.
this was, they had, this is the woman at the American
Actually, we work
Muslim.
together. I can't even look. I know.
Perfect, all right. Well, and this one, they had a very nice animated thing about,
Oh my God.
diversity.
I believe I know
You know
this
her too?
person too.
Well,
Oh.
it was not specific, although they used it at their luncheon, it was not specific to any one group or religion or anything, it was a general, let's all, be together thing. So she had said she was going to send me something, but she never did, so maybe you could
I
contact
can,
her
I'll definitely.
and ask her, if that is something we could possibly use,
For
because
the-
it would be a nice intro, everybody should look at it first.
That's something she presented.
It was at this luncheon, and it introduced all their different things, and it was just, as I say, a general thing for all kinds of people,
Okay.
very
Okay.
welcoming type thing. So maybe they would be open to sharing that.
Okay.
One,
And
one,
this,
So the guy thinking of him to bring him
And-
for.
and this, he might come, he does everything from arts and, he does more than just doing a reading of his book. He does crafts with it, or, he makes it more entertaining.
For the
That's what I
kids.
wanted to
yeah,
say.
because for
Right.
kids it is,
And-
one of the things you do is,
If you
if
wanna
kids
look at
can't
his book,
connect with you, and I have actually done speaking with kids and teenagers, and if they can't connect with you, you lose them. The one thing I thought about with the Hindu culture and religion is most Americans, the vast majority, are Christian, Jewish, or Islamic, which is a monotheistic religion. All of them are, except Catholicism has hundreds of thousands of saints, which is, you could argue is polytheistic, but one of the things I think that because I personally, because I spent time in India and I love India, is that I think it's a colorful religion, but also a very colorful culture. But it also has a lot of gods, and maybe something about how the difference between monotheism and why Hinduism really is not that different, in the end, even though there are many, many gods. Like I said,
Maybe use that
Catholicism has a lot of
story time
saints.
for
That's
the
not really
library
very
for the
different.
kids.
And something like that, so that people have a better understanding. The festivals are really colorful and great, especially Diwali, so.
So do you think that you can look into getting some kind of a speaker to speak on that?
On the Hinduism, sure.
Or even you and Casey everything doesn't, sometimes it helps if it's just people that do it too. It's like, but yeah, illustrate the differences, but again, those differences are not really that different. There's a commonality as well.
How long? Time-wise,
I
10
don't know.
minutes, 15
No.
minutes. So,
Well, if we're doing it for 2 hours, it really, you can't look at more than 15 minutes or.
Yeah, no more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah, so if I prepare somebody also,
Yeah.
have some kind of.
How about 30 minutes?
No, it's too long to do what you need.
Well, what you have is afterwards, instead of a question and answer session with each speaker, what you have is a question and answer session with everybody. I'll go ask the questions of the people I want,
Right.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like make it a group like when people go to the
Yeah, like a
station.
booth like,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just even
Yeah,
walk
tables.
around and talk to the things that interest you,
Yeah.
talk to the
Table
people
And
that
then,
interest you.
yeah, somebody who wants more information, maybe
Yeah.
have,
You can learn something.
You can even do it,
Handouts of some kind.
one-on-one rather than, because a lot of people, I guarantee you, would love to say, I wanna ask that guy this, but I'm not gonna, I'm afraid to, you know,
to
but
get
if,
up in front of people.
but if you're
Right.
there afterwards and you're standing over there, I can go up and just ask
Ask,
you on
yes.
my own, and I'm
Of
not so
course.
intimidated or self-conscious.
So I'm trying to understand, so for the diversity day, we're talking about the events that's gonna be happening in these 2 hours. First,
Yeah.
like presentation kind of thing, then after that, like table, people go around and ask.
Right, so,
And where are we gonna fit the part for the kids?
well, I think we'd have to do that all at the same time. It's gonna be hard.
We're looking at a limited period of time,
Mhm.
so, but at the same time, you can't sit there with a cattle prod and tell people, move it along,
Stick
you
them
know.
outside.
It's like,
Yeah, we can have a place just for the kids.
Well, that's true, we could do that outside
And then
if
we
the weather
could
permitting.
have, people could go where they wanna go, we could have different.
Yes, yeah, because everybody on a one place also, it's a very tough.
Sort of almost like a festival setup where you have different stages and.
I mean, if it worked the way that I'm hoping, or I think everybody else would hope, is that if you have adults, they walk away and say, wow, that was interesting, I never knew that.
Or you
The
could
kids
put,
would say, wow, that's really cool.
or you could put the
Yeah.
wall up and have the speakers in the back and then
We could always do that, there's always options, yeah.
close the
Yeah, we
door.
can work out the minutiae or those details later on. It's first getting a format and,
Which one?
and getting something together, and then we have an idea of how much we have and how much time. I mean, we already said we can, it's tentatively 2 to 4, but we can go longer. There's no reason why.
Actually, I reserved it when we were.
Yeah, 2 to 6 is, I think, what you said.
Just,
so,
I was just to allow us the flexibility.
Right,
We
um,
can decide, however we
so
want to.
start from 2, right?
If it's a flop, everybody can go home at 4 o'clock, and if it really goes well, everybody can stick around, so.
Okay, so what about you, Kim? Can you maybe look into, like maybe another speaker? Maybe somebody who will do like a general talk
That's what I'm trying to
on
think
diversity, or
Can
maybe.
you think of anybody for paganism?
of. There's a group, but I might be more of a contact with this. It's something that's kind of broken into. It's not a general thing. It's kind of like there's different groups, different names. It's broken apart. It's not organized. A lot of people are very quiet about it. I'm pretty much on my own here. I was with some people out of Pennsylvania, and they're the type that's very quiet and nobody knows.
Bring somebody.
Right.
But what are the misunderstandings you run into? It's, oh, you're pagan, so you don't believe in God, or oh, you're a devil.
You're a Satanist, and I mean,
Yeah,
people,
it's
just- yes.
I have a friend that lives in Sayreville that a couple of years ago on Halloween had rocks through a window and was threatened. I mean, these are things.
Mhm.
I was threatened years ago by a friend who passed away when her ex-husband found out, called and threatened to call my boss. I would have lost my job. It would cause a whole lot of things, so sometimes it can be very difficult. There is a group in New Jersey, but I don't know if they're more of a contact group, just like, here's something.
Could you try and see if maybe somebody would come in
So
and
I can
explain that
see
it's
if
different
somebody
groups,
there,
and maybe
if
somebody
they
from
have
out of town would be
anybody.
better to use and explain that there are different
Somebody out of
things.
town.
It's not organized,
What it
they're
comes
different
down
people
to
who do
is
different things.
there's 7 billion people on Earth, and my experience tells me there's 7 billion different ways to find God, and it's, there is, even with Catholics or with, I grew up Catholic, there are a lot of
I think one
divisions
of them
in the
all
Catholic
is-
Church. Judaism has a lot of differences and divisions.
Like the Jews family
So is
services, I don't
Islam.
know if they have something.
Well, that's a good idea. You want to give them a call and see?
Oh, my uncle, he was the president of the Jewish Federation.
Well, that's perfect
So
then.
you
If
might-
he does,
yeah,
if,
see
and
what
if he,
makes sense.
is not up for it, maybe he knows somebody. That's-
Because he goes to Israel and he does all kinds of stuff.
That'd be great.
Anyone, different cultures, whether, let's say, I can't get a speaker, but there might be some resources online, let's say whether it's pamphlets, or I might have photos of different things or activities to even just set up something with even informational,
Yeah,
whether it's
absolutely.
pamphlets or
That's
things I
great.
can print out if I can't get someone to speak.
So if we're going to be all inclusive, do we have to have a table for Texas? Because they've given us Rick Perry and Jordan. It's only a joke.
Just like something, or we could just put whoever wants to bring in, whether it's something culturally, or they have some
Sure.
information, to
We'll be
just
open to
have
anything.
something for someone to take away, which might be.
Okay, so I think, that, I mean, at this point, any further discussion really is just rehashing everything, because everybody's walking away with something that we'll look into and come back at the next meeting and report on. Is that right? Okay, so that takes care of, well, that's old business. Is that also new business?
New business for the future, I kinda like Charlene's idea when she first started this. She said it would be good, at the meetings to open it up, like to advertise it for the public to come in. And then maybe just have like one person come in and talk about a certain subject and have an answer, question and answer period. Like a round table coffee clutch kind of thing. Instead of us just coming here all the time and just sitting here and, okay, now what? That might be a way to bring people in.
Yeah.
And
To
I
our
kind of
regular
like
meeting?
that.
To our regular meetings?
Yeah,
I
just
like
have
it.
like one person come,
Yeah.
and then we can advertise it, and then people can come and have a question and answer period, or,
During like our monthly meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
nice idea
because
also.
that's really what
Well, you could-
this is about, right?
You
I mean,
you
that's
could
how it started.
advertise it on the borough's website and,
TV 34.
whatever.
So
Can
that
you
would be
take
good
care
for
of that?
the
Sure,
future.
it's as an open invitation.
But
And we
are
could
we
have a
going, but
public
are you
portion.
saying in the sense of having a designated, like, speaker and then invite the
Well, what was
public, or
your-
what, I'm not sure how you
Well,
wanna do it.
Kind of, what was wasn't that your original?
That was more of was to have a designated,
Yeah, I think
speaker,
that'd
but-
be nice, because then every month if we have groups of people, it's kind of like having a diversity day every month, we don't want to do that. We want to
That's
have.
why I was gonna
that's
turn
why I'm
into-
kind of
Oh, yeah.
wondering, yeah.
We want to have one person, concentrate on that one person that month, the next month have somebody else or something else come, concentrate on that. And the people who want to learn about it from the town or from wherever can come in and learn about it.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Wasn't that your original?
Yeah, I just don't wanna dilute the diversity day then.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, we don't
so
want
I think it's
Yeah.
going to dilute it.
Yeah, no.
Well, what we can
Here's
do-
the question, it's just a thought, is because I agree with the idea and I think that it would be good. It's just, would it be better to start with having open invitations and just see who wants to come and contribute? Or like, you know what I mean? Have
Well,
a
I don't know, if we
public,
just
have
make
a
it out,
public
then it'd be
portion
sort
of
of
each
like,
meeting
are
maybe.
we gonna answer questions about our own things, or are we gonna have I'm not quite sure how that would work.
So,
Okay.
the speaker.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question, I'm not sure
A
either.
suggestion here for the monthly thing, meeting idea is like, we have, let's say, every time we're here, let's say from 7 to 8, right? We would like to do halftime, like half of the time we discuss the planning for the diversity. The other half is like one of us would be like assigned to talk about their culture or their religion or whatever. And whoever is present from the community, people can hear about it and they want to ask this one, the person who's assigned, let's say, next week is Kim, to talk about her,
What the heck those Presbyterians do.
Yes.
Well,
But
so
actually,
how would we go about, that? I mean, I think you have to advertise it and
I
Channel
thought
34.
advertise like where we want them to come and, like if it's 7:30, we want to start with this person stuff, like we would announce, advertise at 7:30, not because we want 7 us planning or
Yeah.
something.
So then what you would do is, if anybody is interested, contact Kim, contact me,
Yeah.
contact Charlene, I mean,
I have a question.
there should be
Are
a
we,
point man.
It should be either
point
Kim or
woman.
you, it really should be,
Yeah.
I have a
and just the
question.
liaison.
Are we gonna meet in the summertime?
I'm just backup, like if they can't
Well, I
get
planned
to.
on it, and if we
You're
don't meet in
desperate?
the summertime, how are we
Well,
gonna do this in
You
September?
can do more than
Okay, so then maybe, like Charlene said, we don't wanna take away from diversity day.
No.
So maybe we'll start the roundtable thing after September.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if anything,
Well,
after,
we don't take away.
because then there'll be interest.
Yeah, I
Because
think
really
that it's
between now
probably,
and September,
oh, yeah, this is already April, so we have May, June, July, and August, 4 meetings basically.
Yeah.
to set
And we
that
could,
up.
we could also publicize it at the diversity day.
Yeah.
We will be
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it. in-
but I don't
But
know,
yes.
I don't know what kind of
To be
crowd
specific
we're gonna
about
get.
your question
We'll
is, we
find out.
should meet every month and
If
not
we don't
take
have a crowd, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What we can do is
vacation in
try.
okay,
No, I mean, obviously, people are
but
gonna be out of
if she
town.
gets the
right, right.
the Muslim speaker, I get the Jewish speaker, and like their communities, each community advertise like,
To that community,
Yeah.
right.
What I worry about, and I've seen it in my life, a lot of things fizzle out because everybody bites off too much in the beginning. And that really is what I.
that's why I don't want to
What
be
we
here.
should do is focus, I think, on this right now and nothing else. If anybody disagrees, please say so, but we focus on this, take care of this, and then if everything goes well, we can expand, and if it doesn't, there's no basis to expand, all right? Yeah, because
We're learning as we go along.
focus our
How
energy
about-
or lack thereof.
How about the idea like of a menorah, like Westfield does?
At Christmas, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At Hanukkah.
Bang!
Yeah,
You of all people.
Yes, we will
Oh,
absolutely. No, I have already informed the mayor of that, and, yeah, we will
Well, and,
absolutely.
you know,
do-
like how does, do
June-
you
June
know
is
how
gonna be
Westfield does it?
Christmas after.
No kidding,
No.
I mean, we have
That
one
is
more
what
meeting, there should be some,
We can work out and we'll, I mean, it's established, it's a thing we wanna do. We wanna do things for the different, whatever.
Like I think that's like something, instead of like worrying about speakers at each meeting, like,
Well, we can, let me
Yeah.
find, let me move on and find out, you know, where we have, what we have to do to make sure that it's planned.
but also like, if we're gonna do that, like at least maybe we can look into newer, like how many, like the toy soldiers. Like every time a bulb burns out, they go and get a regular bulb now, replace with the red bulb, and now,
Well,
Like-
I think
like
that we
stuff
had
like that.
gotten in some new decorations from the county last year. Let me find out about
cause
the
it's like that
status of
poor,
that.
like the toy soldiers don't look good downtown, they keep insisting putting them up, and like, it's becoming like a blank, like, cause like, what it is the blue bulbs, where the blue area is, you know what I'm talking? Like, it seems like they're just replacing with any old bulb, and then it's just turning into like just a big blob of light. So if we're going to do like Hanukkah, and might as well like spruce up what we have too, cause like it doesn't, you know.
I'm pretty sure that we got some new stuff. What specifically we got, I don't know, but I will find out.
So I did like it when, like, the lights, we didn't do it this year, but the lights on that, the trees coming down town, and, did we do that?
well, in Diwali, you know, in October is this year, right?
Yes.
Diwali, okay. I mean, there should be something, you know, for that as well. Here for me, and you know, it just really just occurred to me as we were talking now, is Gay Pride is in June. So we really only have one more month before that. And I don't think we should have a townwide huge month-long gay celebration or whatever. You know, we're not gonna have a parade like New York, I don't think that that's necessary. But here it is, and I'll make this point, Councilman,
We
what's
just
his name?
barely got to
Councilman,
Memorial
what's
Day
his
parade.
name now? And if you could present that to council, I mean, on my behalf, and say that it was my idea, I would appreciate it. But do something to designate, generally it's the last Sunday in June. And you have a former mayor, and his husband is now on council, and they certainly would not oppose it. What I just don't want is for them to get credit for something like that if
Well,
they haven't already
what would you
proposed
have
it.
in mind to do that I can?
I don't know, you know, it's have the town flag, a rainbow flag. We can discuss that in the next meeting too. I mean, it's just, what I don't want is a big ostentatious, you know, just
But
some
you would
kind of
like it noticed
commemoration.
in
I
some
would
manner.
like some kind of recognition by the borough, stating that June is Gay Pride Month, and the mayor could make a proclamation. Why can't Carl do that?
That's easier.
Carl married us, I mean, certainly, and he married his sister and her wife, and he has no issue with that. So those are things, and again, we have a former mayor and his husband.
I will bring it up to the mayor tomorrow, probably.
Yeah,
I think I
and
have to stop in there tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, and then bring it up in the next council meeting.
Sure.
And this is not self-aggrandizing, it is,
Part of what we're trying to do.
I know the politics of it, and I know that somebody else will say, wow, that's a great idea, I'll take care of it, and
Well,
you know where I'm going with
Yeah,
that,
I
right?
agree, yeah, but whatever, I mean, we wanna make this a thing for, or an inclusive thing.
Yeah, it should be an inclusive thing, and it should be coming from this committee rather than from, you know, because you're the liaison with the committee, and it's our idea. And,
Yeah, we
but
talked
yeah, there
about
should be,
already.
I've been in town 13 years, I've never seen any recognition of that, and we're
Well,
talking
actually, it would
about.
be more appropriate for you to send an email to the mayor making this request.
Yeah, I don't even have Carl's email.
I think we'd rather
Send it to
if
me
it
and
comes
I'll
from
take
See,
care of it.
see Hokinson at rosellepark.net, we're all the same. First
C.
initial,
Hokinson.
last name, and then at rosellepark.net.
It's spelled Hokanson. Like,
He's Swedish, I know how Carl's.
He knows how, he
I
comes
have
from
campaign
from
signs with my
Minnesota.
name and his name both on them, all right? Peterson for council, Hokinson, no, actually it was Hokinson for mayor, Peter.
Which reminds me,
Peterson
somebody
for
was
council.
asking me if you
Depends on if
might
you're
have
looking
any
upside
family
down or not.
connections or anything like that with that German recipe, so.
My mother made a great goulash, but she hated sauerkraut.
you know what I was
I
thinking?
have a question.
But I
Well,
am
I
German,
have something to
yes.
say, not really a question. I think because this is a committee for diversity, I don't think it should come from Michael. I think it should.
Well, yeah, you know,
I don't
that's,
think it
So
should
just,
come
yeah,
from
I
it's a
Michael.
one
agree with
Okay.
that, I agree with that. No, and that's really where I was going. My point is, and I don't wanna come out and say this bluntly, but I think that anybody who knows what I'm talking about knows
No,
that there's
we
a
understand.
faction that will take credit for it even if
Well,
it's
I
not
think
their
that it
idea.
should come from you as president of the,
Well, why don't we as a committee then,
Well, it needs
Yeah,
to come from the committee, but you could present
as,
it as.
you could you do this then, Kim, just write a formal request, email it to me, and then I will forward it to Carl, just, you know, the diversity committee requested mayor and council, issue a proclamation, commemorating Gay Pride Month, and explore options for, demonstrating the borough's
Well,
support
why don't you just
for
type
the
it out?
gay
You know
community.
exactly what you want to say. You just send it. And just type it out.
Okay,
Michael,
Just
for
like
that,
that.
sometimes they'll have something and they'll designate a month, but inside the month, sometimes they'll choose a particular day.
Yeah,
Is there a
I'm just
particular
looking for,
day,
you
or
know,
like the first Saturday of,
to be clear, I don't go to the parades in New York or anything else, you know, but there should be
but you're saying
something
it is the last Sunday in June.
generally, and I would have to look into it, but, you know, generally it's the last weekend in June anyway. And I'll look for that. It's C. Hokinson at,
rosellepark.net.
okay. All right, so I mean, that's out of the way then, I will just go ahead and do that,
Just sign it as
chairman of the
Diversity
diversity committee, and I will say we discussed
So
it
that
and
way
we
the-
make
you
this
already-
proposal, it's,
Point is discuss and that will,
Right, because that's what we're about.
yes.
yeah, and, I mean, to me, just even, Borough Hall, you know, I mean, certainly the town can afford a flag. I mean, I wouldn't suggest putting flags all the way up and down Westfield Avenue, you know. It would be cool, but, you know, but yeah, you know, maybe at the flagpole at Borough Hall or somewhere else, or, you know, several places around town. Just, whether it's for the whole month or just that weekend or whatever. Is everybody all right with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then Diwali,
Yeah, what could we do for development? I mean, obviously, we're gonna have the celebration, you know, up at the high school, but is there something we could do, like with lights or something in town that would be appropriate?
Well, it is a
I know it's
festival of lights.
festival of
Yeah,
lights.
it's lights, yeah, first of all, lights.
So with adding lights to, I mean, maybe you could.
Maybe
think
the
about it,
gazebo
come up
park,
with
'cause the
some
lights are there.
suggestions. We'll put some lights around in the gazebo park.
cause aren't they there already, or do they
How
take
about-
them down?
Can't you get buckets
Yeah,
of
but I
red paint and throw them at people?
Well, let's see what we can find out.
Diwali also,
Lights.
isn't it part of Diwali is the red paint? Is that part of Diwali?
We could paint the gazebo red.
No, that's, we have to do it with
No,
lights, you know, festival of lights.
Yeah, I know it's festival of lights, but which festival is
Fire.
it where everybody, you know, puts red?
Firecrackers, you know, that's all of it.
Well, firecrackers, yeah, that's, you can't go there.
we can't.
You can't go that way. And,
Well, that would be like Chinese New Year, we'd be in trouble.
yeah, no, you can't go that way. It's,
Yeah, I mean, but it's unfortunate, there are traditions. that
but
you-
I know, but, you know, this is maybe my being prudish, but I think even with the economic times, the way that they were and everything else, and the fact that every town around us has fireworks, I think that when the town was trying to tighten the budget, it was an extravagance, we couldn't afford having fireworks on the
Well,
Fourth.
they're all donated, it's all donated.
Well,
And they're,
the police and everything, it still costs money.
well,
But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm prudish when it comes to that. It's, I wanna make sure kids today don't have what I have, so. Yeah,
You've been
I'm
getting
just
yourself in
kidding,
trouble,
I'm
you
just
know.
kidding, come on,
It's on video, too.
I had, I was very lucky to have the childhood I had.
yeah. But, yeah,
So-
let's think of different, and actually, you know, it would also liven up the town. You know, we've
Right.
got nice lights
That's a
at
colorful
October,
festival, it's a lot of fun, you know.
And there'd be a big group.
Oh, I have a suggestion. How about,
That was interesting.
no, yes, no.
Go ahead, go
Wait,
ahead.
The
Where's-
library,
Go ahead.
the library, what is the light? What does the light light up the library? You know, like they have, it lights, does it
I'm
light,
not
what
sure
does
which
it?
your answer
point
is to,
to?
which light?
There's a lot of lights at the library.
There was one
There are
light that was
lights that-
green.
There are lights
was
that go on,
pointed. What did it
onto
point to?
the military monuments. There's a light that goes onto, there's lights on the side of the building, on the
Okay, what about
doorway.
the tree? What if?
The
what if
tree's
tree-
kinda dead.
The tree is dead.
The
The
dead
tree is
the
being
tree
replaced.
that was lit up in green,
Yes,
It's dead though.
it's dead.
is it still there?
It is right now, but hopefully it won't be for long.
I was gonna say maybe we could put like, you know, different colored lights on to make it kind of like a rainbow, like,
That's
Put
an
it
idea,
around
maybe
like
we
that?
can, let's see what we can,
to
what we
make it
can
look
do.
like it's a rainbow.
Sure, I'll donate the lights, we could do that.
All right, so, maybe we've talked about a lot of things, and again, everybody here's got something to go home with. We did old business, we did new business, what would be next? Adjourn the meeting? Okay, so everybody agrees that you'll go home and do what you agreed to do, and when we have the next meeting, which will be,
This
do you have
is,
the date, Kim?
you can put on the agenda nagging for this one.
Nagging.
Go home, do what you said you would do.
Well, you know, I'm mostly lecturing myself when I do that, so.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
joking.
It's always the last.
The last
Wednesday.
So it would be,
May
I have them
20.
all marked.
5:25, okay, and that's at 7 PM.
And
I
I
have
will be
a-
here.
And I'll try to get the agenda. for
Can I
you.
have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
Okay, everybody,
Oh, wait,
Aye.
you can't, wait, can you, someone has to make the motion.
I make a
I
motion
said,
to
right,
adjourn.
yeah.
I'll second it.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And if anyone would like to borrow my copy of Robert's rules, I'll let them see.